Hello all and welcome to another video in my journey to 1 million Gamerscore series. And October is done, finished, gone in the history book, so it's time to bring to you October part 2. Now my time constraints are still at large. I am still working my arse off and not being able to game as much as I would love to. However, thanks to Ratalaika Games, thank you very much. There have been 2 easy completions to talk about, and there's also a recompletion to talk about. That's because a previous easy completion added 1 achievement worth 200G, so I've got that to talk about and bring up as well and bring to your attention. So I'd just like to add also any comments or any questions, should I say, about any games or just any comments in general or any message you wish to send me. Please do it in the comment section below. That is where I am more likely to see it. Do feel free to follow me on Xbox Live. However, if I'm on my Xbox, I'm generally busy playing games or watching videos whilst eating. So your messages are more likely to be answered in the comment section below. So please chuck them down there. Anyway, less of the waffling. Let's crack on with the games and show you what indeed I have been playing and where I got my Gamerscore in the back end of October. And it starts with where the bees make honey. Now this was a previous 1000G completion. This is the extra 200G achievement that I was talking to you about. This is where it really helps to subscribe to all the big hitters when it comes to the achievement community on YouTube, like Maca91, like Achievement Squad, and like Achievement Land. And it's the good people of Achievement Land that actually brought this to my attention. As I say, a 200G achievement for completing a level that's been added to the game. Now that level is about 10 minutes into the game. You might want to follow a guide to get there quickly. Now Achievement Land have done a bang on little video on how to complete that level, but I must admit I was going to watch it again when I got to the level after following the guide and getting there again, but I just thought trial and error, I'll do it eventually, and sure enough I did. It's not a difficult level. The only thing that has also changed with the update, you might find a guide might be a little bit wrong, is that opening room where the phone's ringing. You could just actually leave it and crack on with getting to where you need to get through the game. You now have to answer the phone and find 3 objects in that room. That's not too much of a task either. But once you've done that, any guide that's already been previously made on the game will get you to that level. No problems at all. It's an easy 200G achievement, just worth nabbing quickly. So thank you again to the good people of Achievement Land for just bringing it to my attention and making that video, which was indeed very helpful. Next up, we picked up a game called Debris Infinity, and I saw a lot of people playing this, and I just thought it looks fun because it's a twin-stick shooter, and I must admit I do like twin-stick shooters, and that's quite good really, because there's been a few this month. All of a sudden, you know, quite randomly, there's been a load of indie games that are twin-stick shooters released, and I saw this, and if you look at the thumbnail there, it looks very Geometry Wars style. It is very Geometry Wars style, and I must admit, if you're a completionist, this one is going to put you back quite a bit. You're going to spend hours on this unless you're very good at the games as well. Some of the point margins to hit are really hard. The 125 I've got there, I probably put about somewhere between 3 and 4 hours into the game. Nabbed a lot of the easy ones, and maybe a couple of them were a little bit skill, or maybe a little bit skill / luck. So yes, if you're a completionist, do dodge this one, but if you do like Geometry Wars and you like a twin stick shooter, I found this one to be a lot of fun, and the game's only around about a £5 as well. It's not too expensive. Next up, the first Ratalaika game, and this is Deep Space Rush, and it's like it is a side-scrolling platformer, but it's kind of like a never-ending one, and you can see how far you can get. Now this is so easy that none of the achievements have an unlock rate under 85%, so that just gives you an idea of how easy this one is. You have to kill so many enemies, get through so many zones, you have to buy a heart from the store, you have to buy anything from the store, you have to upgrade a weapon to max, so I just upgraded the basic weapon that you start with because it's the cheapest. You'll get plenty of coins every time you play it. The lengthiest achievement is to finish 100 zones, but on average, even with my bad game playing, I was getting around about the 8 zone mark every time I did a run, so as you can imagine, even that 100 zone marker didn't take too long in the end. It's an under an hour completion. To be honest with you, it's more like half hour to 45 minutes, but yeah, nice little easy one there for you. Not an expensive game at all. And the other thing with Ratalaika games is if you keep on top of what games they're releasing and you buy them within the first week that they release, they generally have an extra 50p off in that first week or two, so that's worth keeping out for. But yeah, Deep Space Rush, half hour, 45 minutes, definitely under an hour. Don't need a great deal of skill. either. Super easy, that one. Okay, above it, I finished my veteran campaign of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. In my last video, you'll have noticed this was sat on 115 with me still to finish it. So I did finish it, and one thing I want to do at the moment, because my backlog is huge, I'm literally, honestly, I'm sitting next to a wall of Xbox 360 physical games, and there's about 200 of them, and that is the size of my backlog. So, little spoiler ahead for next month, I actually want to delve into the 360, show it some love, play a lot of 360 stuff, and then I've still got this generic sports title 2-week period that I want to do. I've got a stack of generic sports titles as well to play through. But anyway, sidetracked. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Finished my veteran campaign mode, and the good thing about when you finish the veteran campaign mode, it does stack all the different difficulty achievements for finishing the game. So there we go, we've got the 75, the 50 and the 30 all at the same time, totaling 155 G for finishing the game when you get there, and then everything else is just progressional. 30, 25 G achievements. Might be a couple of other ones, little random ones there, like stop an AST with an EMP grenade. Just say these, I didn't target them, but I did get them along the way as well, spending 10 points and 20 points I think as well. But yeah, where I was going with that comment when I got a little sidetracked about talking about my backlog and how big it is basically the reason why I've just played Call of Duty on the veteran campaign and stopped is because I need to clear games. So I will be playing the games, completing them, getting what I get, perhaps targeting other achievements and moving on, because I've just got so much to get through. So that is going to be my target. So hopefully there'll be more games to talk about, and then I can talk about what you can get easy, what you can get with a little bit of skill, and what I've left behind because it will take too long or it'll just be too hard for me. So that is the plans going forward. So just throw that in there quickly. Twin stick 2 shooter time again. Iron Cryptical, if that's how you pronounce it. Sort of a twin stick shooter / dungeon crawler at the same time. The 390 I've got out of it there, not too difficult. A lot of it is progressional as well as cumulative totals. I think there's a couple of achievements in it that are rare and are quite difficult. A couple of them you'll just get along the way. I think these were the last two here that I targeted. There's a lot of secret achievements as well. Because I knew I could get them and it wouldn't take too long. But I say a lot of these aren't difficult. A lot of them are progressional and will take time. Some of them are random, like finding a golden poop there for 25G. The monsters are, there we go, you get an achievement for defeating each monster, but it's always randomised. So if you play the first level over and over again on easy, you won't always get the same monster. So that is one thing to do, is to play through it several times so you can get different monsters and get some of the achievements. But it's a fun little game, and I did enjoy it actually. I do like my twin stick shooters, so it was always going to be a little bit enjoyable to me. But yeah, another one there. Complete the catacombs and complete the graveyard are another couple of random achievements. You'll get those as you're going through, sort of randomised on your multiple runs. You'll just sort of fall upon those sort of rooms. Again, there's another example of, there's another boss there, defeat Boulderface. And yes, use 10 different weapon types. Maybe I should play it more and get that one. I'm up to 6 by the look of it. There you go. As you'll see, the achievements do track on this. So I probably will maybe return to that one at some point, but it might get lost behind in the fact that I still need to play a hell of a lot of games because of the backlog that I've already blathered on about for a little bit. Decided to have a go at Carmageddon Max Damage, which I picked up not too long ago. And I was looking forward to this. I mean, I only paid £4 for it, and that 270 didn't come too difficultly, it was quite easy to get that 270. Beyond that, a lot of it's going to be time consuming. I might actually just play it and get one more for unlocking the 10th world or 10th levels or whatever they call it, because you can actually keep playing the easy levels and your points will keep unlocking all the levels above them, so it's, that would make that easy. But the cars on this handle atrociously, abysmally, and it takes the fun out of it, sadly. So I spent about half hour, 40 minutes with this game, and unlocked about, I think, not these top 3 achievements. So I unlocked these ones here below it, literally within half hour, 40 minutes. I wrecked my first opponent, completed the tutorial, finished the classic car event, wrecking all opponents, got a 10 ped kill combo, pedestrians that is, get points running with pedestrians, achieved a suck my pants parts or collateral downward bonus. Finished the classic car event by completing all the laps, and unlocked chapter 2 in career. That was literally all in one night. So I was customising your car by buying a part. Just these top 3 here I got on another night. In fact, look, I played it past midnight. So yes, I remember grinding out these two top achievements here. Killed 50 target peds in Ped Chase and 100 checkpoints in Checkpoint Stampede, because you can again just play the easy levels and just grind it out. So I knew I could do that. I don't even know what that is. That just unlocks along the way. So, but I'd love to have been able to recommend this game, to be honest with you, because I remember playing it on the PC and quite enjoying it, and sadly it's just failed to deliver, which was probably why it was so cheap. But yes, you'll get a little under 200 in about half hour, 40 minutes without really trying, and then beyond that you can grind out a few more, and then beyond that you'll spend a lot of time getting achievements. I may just play it until I unlock World 10 and get that 20G achievement, and then I shall probably leave Carmageddon behind. Okay, this has popped up because at the very last moment I remembered that I was behind on the medals for the month, and I managed to nick the bronze one out of it. It's all about getting these medals that you can play. You can only pick one up of each a month. I spoke about this in depth at the end of January part 1. I spoke about a little bit more at the end of January part 2. So if you're interested in a free game on your phone, on your Android, and want to hear about it, please revisit those videos. Delta Squad, Ratalaika Games, you are striking again. This is again another twin stick shooter. However, with this one, the right thumbstick isn't just a case of aim and shoot. It only aims. You have to hold the right trigger to shoot, and obviously control your character with the left thumbstick. Now what I did is I read the achievement list, and there was an achievement for getting to survival mode wave 10, so I thought I'd go for that first. I unlocked all achievements apart from 3 just by getting to wave 10 in survival mode, and that took no longer than half an hour. Probably took around about 20 minutes ish. It wasn't that difficult. When I got to level 11 though, I did target the kill 5 enemies with 1 grenade achievement by letting them all swarm and build up and throwing it. And then because I wanted to move on from getting achievements you can only get in the campaign, I then let myself basically get killed once I'd managed to kill 5 with 1 grenade, because there's an achievement for killing 3 with 1 grenade as well. So that's obviously going to be picked up at the same time as your 5. So with that we moved on to the campaign and the last 3 achievements that I got, and I must admit I used the Joe Basic guide that kind of you don't move off of if you just press start, called Infantry, and I had 2 failed attempts at finishing the first level. So I kind of decided to scroll through the characters, and then eventually I found the Engineer. Now I would recommend using the Engineer. Even though he's slow and his weapon is less powerful, he is more defensive and can take more hits. I've found out with the infantry guy, when these fixed turret cannons that were hitting me would hit me a couple of times, it would take a lot of energy away. But with the Engineer guy, it didn't. Now, yes, he's slow, but his weapon is a little bit less powerful, but the fire rate of the weapon is phenomenal, and it doesn't make a difference at all. The distance on it is also a lot further than anybody else as well. So these turrets that shoot at you, if you sort of nip on screen and just have them at the top of the screen, you can just about hit them without them actually firing at you. And if you do get near them, by the way, just keep moving left and right. That will help you dodge them. But yes, use the Engineer. And that Destroy Tank achievement there, which I'm currently highlighting, you can only get on the first level. Or you can't, probably there are more in later levels. You won't get it survival mode is what I'm basically saying. You'll get it on the first level as part of the progressional. It's in the way of the communication towers which you need to get to. Again, just keep moving, use the Engineer guy, keep your distance. And then when you eventually get to the end of the level and fight on the boss, you'll get the boss killer achievement. But because you're the Engineer and you're slow, you will need to use the right bumper function to dodge the bombs that the level 1 boss throws, because he's just not fast enough to get away. But if you tap roll as the boss throws his little bombs, you will then roll far enough away. So then when you beat the boss, that one will unlock, and then you'll have to walk to the door and get out of the level for the starting complete any level achievement, which you see above. I wonder why it didn't unlock as soon as I beat the boss. I was like, really? But yeah, you have to walk out the door of the level. The only other thing I can throw in before I just leave this game is there is a little white arrow around you that will direct you to every objective you need to go to, so just keep following your white arrows and you won't get lost. I didn't realise that white arrow was there at first, so the first time I played the campaign I started getting lost, and then I realised what the white arrow around my little body was all about. So, funnily enough, the campaign run on doing that one level takes as long as, well, it takes even longer than all the other achievements put together that I got out of survival mode. I think it took about half an hour, maybe even 40 minutes, just because there was quite a bit to do. It wasn't difficult. If you take your time, pace yourself, keep moving, I would recommend using an engineer. But yes, easy completion again, Ratalaika Games. Thank you very much. And above that is Gears Pop, which I've added nothing to. I've just been playing it. A lot of the achievements I've got left on there are quite lengthy now. There will be some more unlocks eventually, but I just haven't added any more, and I've just been visiting it daily to get the free gifts and stuff that they can give you for visiting daily, and the different shop bonuses that you can buy with in-game coins as well. You can spend money on this and advance it a hell of a lot quicker, but I refuse to do that. I don't want to get caught into that little loop of getting addicted to a game and spending too much money on it, especially when I'm working my arse off and trying to make a lot of money. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Gamerscore I got at the end of October. Going forward, as I say, I already mentioned it in the middle of the video, I do want to hit up the 360 backlog, or my wall of backlog, which you may have seen in my game setup video, and get some of that done and get some game score out of that, get some of these games just completed and move on, and perhaps pick off anything else that I can get out of them. So yes, expect to see a few 360 titles in next month, and in fact, the moment I sign out from this video, I'm going to boot the old beast up and chuck something in there. I've got plenty to choose from. So ladies and gentlemen, please do feel free to like, comment, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. If you are, why not hit the little notification bell, and that will drop you a little notification every time I upload a brand new video. So ladies and gentlemen, that just leaves me to thank you for watching, and say to you, as always, take care.